Hello. The topic for this week's video discussion is social justice. And the Bible verse that I chose that I thought best exemplifies this is Proverbs 31:8-9. Open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and needy. I think that speaks volumes to what we're studying this week in the topic at hand. And it's something that we're seeing a huge movement regarding social justice and social reform in the United States presently. I currently live outside the United States in a small country attached to Saudi Arabia in the Middle East. And I will tell you that social justice here is dramatically different from what it is in the United States. And while the United States may not be whatever your opinion on it is, as far as whether you agree with what's going on or don't, at least in the United States, we're allowed to have that conversation. Here, you're not. Where I live, you're not. So I will say that from an outside perspective, looking at what the United States is going through right now, a lot of growing pains in our society. That's not to minimize what's happening. Just saying that from a historical standpoint, when we look back at this is going to be documented as a time of great social reform, I believe. And I understand that as a white middle-aged male, that my voice is not the one that needs to be at the forefront of the conversation right now. And I can appreciate that. But that doesn't excuse me or give me a pass from opening my mouth for the mute, for trying to help those that feel destitute and disenfranchised. In the profession that I'm choosing as an LPC and just as a person of faith, I should be working to help better the position of other people that are less fortunate than me. As for the topics of this week, my understanding of cultural humility, awareness and advocacy, and social justice, I will display cultural humility for clients when they come in, and whether they're from my culture or from a different culture. I will take the time to get to know them and to get to know their background and to understand how their background may influence the decision-making process that has led them to where they currently are in their life. Cultural awareness goes along hand in hand with that. If I know more about their culture and where they came from, then it gives me better insight on how they can be guided to help make the decision that's going to help their life in what they're currently facing and the problems and challenges that they need to overcome. The ethical principles regarding cultural humility and cultural awareness, this chapter did a very good job in the book of laying out several examples of when Christ displayed the principles of how we can deal with people in our lives that may come from different cultures, different backgrounds. The woman at the well, the Good Samaritan, all of these examples in the Bible show us that we need to always have empathy for others, and that we need to try and learn their background and where they're coming from, why they approach the situation the way they do. And that's called for in our Christian faith, and it's called for in this profession. Actions that I'll take to develop cultural humility, again, learn from my clients. Always be actively learning and trying to understand their background, their needs, and what brought them to where they are now. What was culturally significant in that, how their family helped raise them, how they were influenced by the things that they saw and believed. And I believe I'm getting a firsthand experience of that living in a predominantly Muslim culture. My beliefs don't align with a lot of the beliefs that are exhibited here. However, because of cultural awareness, I'm able to navigate through my profession and through my job here in a somewhat harmonious fashion with everyone around me. I've been here for over 4 years, and while I am very much an outsider and have very different views, we get along pretty well. And it's helping my family and I learn and grow and see how other cultures handle these things. So it's been a very eye-opening experience, and it's been something that will stay with me for the rest of my life, in trying to understand different cultures and how to integrate and to work in peace with other people and try and achieve the same goal. As far as advocating for social justice and for my clients, that's part of being an LPC. You have to advocate to try and help people achieve what they want to in life. You have to be in the mindset to advocate for the profession, to speak up and let people know that this being heard and counseling can only help as a sounding board moving forward to help guide and overcome problems and stressors in life. So this week's lesson was really came at a time where there's a lot of things going on with social justice and social justice reform. I took a lot from this chapter, and I do think that this has a tremendous amount of time will be spent in the counseling process and the learning process for this with social justice and how that affects people in their daily lives. Thank you.